What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cherokee Hacks Life, and today I do a quick review on the Wei-Rui shoes. Most of you have probably not even heard of Wei-Rui shoes, but these are actually some pretty cool weightlifting shoes that I wound up looking around. I kept searching, and everything I kept finding was the Addy Powers, and I'll be honest with you, nor do I want to spend, or do I have the inclination to actually spend $200 to $250 on a pair of weightlifting shoes. Sure, the reviews are fantastic, but I don't even buy my regular Nike shoes for $200. Why the hell would I be buying some weightlifting shoes for $200, right? So I searched around on the internet, kept looking around, trying to find something that's a little bit more affordable in terms of weightlifting shoes, something that I could use that'll get the job done, but actually also has some pretty solid written reviews out there as well. So I figured, let me go ahead and do a video review on them. So let's go over the specs real quick. Pretty much the same as you'd find from the Addy Powers. The heel, hard heel. It's very hard to compress. They're actually designed for squatting and actually lifting heavy, which means with a hard heel, it's not going to compress as easily. What you also get out of it is a 1.25 inch heel that actually elevates you about 0.75 off the actual ground. Pretty solid. The style, kind of plain. They had a couple other ones with an actual wooden bottom that looked pretty cool. Wasn't really my style. Black and white, real simple. Hardest part is probably going to be keeping them clean. It came with its own separate little gym bag kind of thing, so shoe bag, so you kind of stick it in there before sticking it inside of your gym bag so you don't get everything else kind of intertwined in there. And again, if you're using my previous hack with putting together the cedar chips, the silicone, you just kind of shove one in there, shove a sock in there that has the cedar and the actual silicone, and you basically have some nice fresh shoes every single time. Now here's the best part. The Addy Powers are about between $200 to $250 any given day when you try to look for them. So, on the flip side, these are actually only $70. Now, there is only one website that I can find them that actually sold them. It's maxbarbell.com. I'll put the link down in the description below so that you guys can see which other ones they actually offer. Now, I tried it out in the gym. It felt really odd, and that's because for a while I was just using some really basic Nike cross trainer shoes that I have. I think these are actually running shoes, and I've used them because I always said, you know what, they got a bit of a heel on them. But I kind of went back and looked at some of my video, and you definitely see some compression in hell. I can actually compress these myself if I push down hard enough. When I used them and actually used them myself, in comparison to actually using my old running shoes, it was a very big difference. I can actually feel that I was pushing a lot more coming off my heel. I felt that there was definitely no compression there on the actual shoe. It felt a lot more stable. I was able to get up to 300 pounds very, very easily. I will say though, it will take a little bit of getting used to if you haven't been using squat shoes before, because that elevated feeling, or maybe you have been, if you've been kind of putting your foot onto like weights and stuff, which is really unstable. But if you put your feet up on weights, you kind of have that feeling already. But these, they definitely do take some getting used to when you come down and you come back up from the actual squat position. Now I wound up doing the exact same thing, actually wearing them for my deadlift. I know typically you should be wearing a flat shoe for the deadlift, but I wanted to try it out. Felt pretty solid too. Now the one downside I will say about these shoes are, they're pretty damn heavy. Don't expect to be doing any sort of running with these suckers because they're fucking heavy. Just to give you a comparison, these are about 11.5 ounces. This is about 1.5 pounds. So they actually are pretty significantly heavier. But, of course, they have to be because the sole is a lot harder than what you find here, and the materials here actually weigh the shoe down. The other downside that I kind of found from them is when you actually go to the website and you measure your foot out, it's going to tell you, measure it from one point to the other, from the heel to the big toe, by centimeters. And when you measure it by centimeters, it gives you a recommendation to give it a little bit extra room. I wish I wouldn't have went with that recommendation. Actually, if I would have just left it at the exact size, would have probably put me down to an 8.5. So it seems like they run small because I'm typically a 9.5 to 10 in shoes. So I would say don't go with the recommendation on the actual little bit extra that it tells you to give. So that way you can have a nice snug fit inside of the actual shoe. I can definitely see where I might need either some compression socks when I'm actually working out on this, or I might need to purchase an insole to actually put the insole inside to be able to get a little bit more of a snug feeling on the actual shoe. Or maybe I don't. It didn't really affect me too much. Also, when you tie the shoe, obviously you're gonna have to break it in a little bit, but make sure you tighten from the bottom up, just because you can definitely feel, if you take that recommendation, you can feel at the very front of your foot, over by the fifth metatarsal and first metatarsal, the tightness isn't exactly there as much as you want it, so you gotta tighten up your shoe just a little bit extra. But that's it. Overall, so far, I like them. For the price, 70 bucks versus $200, I don't think you can really go wrong, especially since the specs are pretty much the same. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below, or if you actually already have these shoes, comment down below. Let other people know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Talk to you later.